navigate our way talking about the International Day for Women. And right about now, I want to speak. I have via the phone the chairperson of the Labour Party in Rivers State. And there's quite some few issues I'd like us to iron out. I'm talking about Hilda Dokubo. It's good to have you on the show. Good afternoon to you and welcome on the show.
Good evening, Kalada. Good evening.
Yes. So the very first conversation I'd like to have with you has to do with the leadership of the party. Now, we are getting feelers that there is a certain near people who may be having a tussle with, when we say tussle, we're talking about, claiming leadership of the party. Can you explain all of these for us and tell us who the authentic leader is? Because what we had at a certain time was that you were allowed to, take that position and acting capacity. What has changed?
It's very laughable that today would come up and say he's chairman of Labour Party. Of what Labour Party? There are no two Labour parties. There's only one.
Okay.
On the 8th of March of 2023, Dell was relieved of his job. He had served his complete tenure, and that was that. Now, outside of that, he had also put himself in a very compromising position with the PDP at the time, for which he was also issued some disciplinary mail to it, right? So he was suspended indefinitely for that misdemeanor. If I'm allowed to use that word because it's worse than misdemeanor. And then after that, Jaya and his team had also taken off to court twice over and lost twice. Okay. So there is not Jaya as chairman of anything. He was up until the 8th of March.
Okay.
It was, and he is no longer. So when he parades himself as chairman, it's okay for him to keep fooling himself, but he shouldn't fool the public.
Okay.
Okay, so he's not chairman Labour Party.
Okay.
Chairman Labour Party Rivers State as today. I'm not God, I don't know what tomorrow brings. As today and as we speak, it's Hilda Dokubo.
Are you recognized?
And if I'm released of that position, I'm still chairman.
I was going to ask you, are you recognized by the national structure of the party?
I'm recognized by the national, verified and recognized by INEC, and I have my name on the INEC stand as chairman Labour Party Rivers State. This name is not there. It was there up until the 8th of March 2023.
Okay.
I have no idea why he likes to parade and fool himself, jumping from one radio station to the other, knowing the truth and yet wanting to mislead people.
Okay.
He
so,
should stop up.
I think the bone of contention now is Labour Party going to courts, asking the courts to interpret whether the 27 defectors at the House of Assembly in Rivers State have flouted the law. On one point I had Olumati Isaiah on the show last week Friday, and he said, "Oh yeah, that's the case." And then the next week we got another feeler that, "Oh no, Labour Party has not gone to court." So I guess that's where there is the talk about a leadership tussle came from. So what is it?
There is no leadership. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Yeah.
There is no leadership tussle. It's just somebody who likes to fool himself. There is no tussle. He went to court, he lost.
Okay.
The party suspended him indefinitely, and he knows that too. This time, he himself walked away and went to a PDP and all of that. What can't he focus there? Oh, maybe, I don't know. I'm not saying I can't reason for it. We should stop fooling himself. That's exactly what he is doing right now, parading himself as what he is not.
Okay. I think where I was driving at is if you can make it clearer for the public as to where the Labour Party stands on that court case. Is that court case real?
You don't break the law and expect that everybody will sit down and consume it. Oh, what they did, by what they did, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria clearly says once you do that, automatically that seat is vacant. Automatically, so we need the court to interpret that, because somebody can't tell me that what Constitution says because somebody else who is in authority said this has to happen. The thing is in the name of peace. What peace? What peace can be bigger and better than the peace that comes to justice? What peace? Yes, we are in court until the court gives interpretation to that. So if they and who are saying they don't know Labour, they are not members of Labour Party, I don't think. They're not in good standing with the party as we speak, brother me.
Okay, all right.
Anything can happen tomorrow.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm not God, and I will not take the position of tomorrow. But for today, as you and I speak, as today, Labour Party is in court, and Labour Party is seeking that interpretation, and yet we will get that interpretation.
Now, looking at the narrative of peace, coming to an agreement so that there can be peace in Rivers State, as you mentioned, the purveyors of that narrative have said that the Labour Party going to court is them seeking another way to get into the assembly, having not won their seats during the 2023 elections. So, as chairman, what would be your response to that?
Hilda, can you take that a bit, because I lost you halfway?
Okay, I guess.
Can you just repeat that question?
Yeah, I guess the network is terrible. But I was saying the narrators of the narrative that let's all have peace in River State, and that's why there was an agreement. And Labour Party is questioning that agreement because they are looking for a backdoor to the assembly. Since they couldn't win elections at.
Nobody wants a back door. We all want a front door. We want something that is transparent and accountable. That's what we are asking for.
Okay.
We want a back door. Are you just going to take the position and give to somebody in the Labour Party? No, we're all going to go back and get our elections done. So there's no back door. If people are going to go back and get voted in or out, it can't be back door. That is the right thing to do. Why are people afraid of the right thing? I listened to the governor say there is no sacrifice too much for him to make for the people.
Yeah.
So great, fantastic that you want to make sacrifices. Yes, but he didn't name the sacrifice, Are we going to sacrifice the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the altar of what? Of mediocrity? It also has been done, the judiciary has done quite a lot in trying to destroy itself. I don't even know what about. But the truth of the matter here is that this is clear. And we're not like first stage or the members of Rivers State House of Assembly will be the first group of people who are going to have this interpreted. It has over like 3 other interpretations to this same case. So it's an automatic thing. But, they said the law is an act, right? So let's see whose act it is. So let the court give interpretation. The sacrifice we're all making is a sacrifice to ensure that we have lasting peace. Not where somebody says, oh, we didn't come back and we have to just listen to Mr. President. Yeah, fine. Listen to whatever you want to listen to, but listen to it based on what the Constitution of Nigeria allows. That's it. So who walks away? It's walking. That's the point there. So what we're asking for is what we have rights to ask for. And this is not any backdoor. We haven't said, INEC or whoever it is, declare members of Labour Party winners. Besides, if you were in this state, when a member of that team went on air and announced himself, the 4 states were won by Labour, they rewrote the results. We're all existent. And even that's not saying that's the case. So declare us winners. We're saying no. Let's go back to election because those states are vacant. And they are indeed vacant.
All right. All right. I have a commercial break coming up. So I would ask you to give me, at most 5 minutes, just stay on the line. When I come back, I would love to hear Labour's stance on, the local government elections. It's been one hell of a debate, I should say, and Labour Party has been in the news. Labour Party has made a statement, but I would like to hear from the chairman what the chairman thinks about the debate ongoing about the local government elections. Let's go for a commercial break. When we come back, please.
Thank you.
All right. Bottom of the hour. It's 5:30 p.m. You're listening to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. I am Kala Dakoru Batbo, and with me on the show via the phone is Hilda Dokubo, and we are looking at Labour Party basically in River State, some of the trouble, some of their statements, and going forward what they're thinking. Hello.
Hello, Kalada.
Yeah, thank you very much for staying with me. Welcome back. So let's get back to our conversation. Before we went for the commercial, I mentioned that I would like us to talk about the local government elections. Now, on the morning show today, we had the the Information Commissioner, I beg your pardon, who mentioned that the governor will follow the principles of the Constitution and act accordingly. The question I'm asking is, right now, it looks like there is no movement from RISEC, which is most likely the government who has not made any move. What do you make of the situation? Are you okay with a caretaker government, like some people are saying that's going to be the case? Are you insisting that the local government elections must hold before the expiration of the administrators currently on ground? What's your take? I'd like to hear.
Okay, so this is my take. In life, you choose your battle.
Okay.
We already have more than enough, and if you are privileged to certain things, you would also know that before now, we have had caretaker committees and all whatnot. Now, in this instance, we already have more than we need amount of distraction. Yes, I would like for us to have an election, follow the Constitution and do the right thing. But if we need a breather to be able to put, you do know that in this state, and this is speaking clearly to the situation, that RISEC has always controlled local government elections. It's the state elections, and we know the things that happen during state elections. I'm not a pessimist. I'm a diehard optimist. However, if we need a breather, if we need a caretaking committee to keep working until we're able to put things in place, and then we can go for that election, why not? We go ahead and we do that. But we have to look at what the Constitution says concerning that. We must learn as Nigerians to always respect the law, to always respect. See, until we all agree to either make this party constitution and get the constitution that empowers people, we must learn to respect what we have. Okay, so yes, we're ready to go for elections, and yes, we're ready to work with the governor to ensure that there is lasting and enduring peace, sustainable peace, not the peace of the graveyard, and not the peace where we're all acting like everything is at peace, and yet we know nothing is. Okay, so that's my take on that, and this is Hilda Dokubo speaking.
Now, let me understand you. You're saying that you're open to peace, however, the Constitution must be followed to the letter.
Exactly.
Okay, so is the Labour Party ready for local government elections? Because, like you mentioned, over the years, we've seen situations where, winners of local government elections are usually members or followers of the government at the state level. All across Nigeria, not just River State. Is the Labour Party ready? You made reference to certain politicians, popular politicians in River State, who said the Labour Party won the elections in 2023, and the Labour Party's votes were upturned or stolen, whichever word is the right one to use. So, do you think the Labour Party is ready going into this election? Yet again, looking at these challenges of malfeasances and corruption and all the likes.
Calendar.
Yeah.
We will move it at a time.
Okay.
If we were able to do what we did during the presidential election and achieved what we achieved last year, what we know is on your marks, get set, we will be ready. Okay, so let's deal with this first. This state needs to be properly constituted. Governor Fubara right now is working with a nearly no present House of Assembly.
Okay.
Right? So on that level, he's almost, if you look at it, you'll know that, okay, this man is at 30% of what should be his capacity. He needs his 100% to be able to operate. Because every arm of government is important, as we know that. Right? So let's go a step at a time. Once we're ready, we're ready. The party will always be ready.
Okay.
But once we know that this is the schedule, we will be ready. And if we don't have to, then we don't have to.
I was going to mention that now you made reference to the House of Assembly. They repealed a law that has to do with the local government law, saying that the governor does not have the right to appoint a caretaker chairman or caretaker committees. So
I'm losing you. Can you be closer to your mic?
I am close to my mic. I think it's network.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can.
I was making reference to the House of Assembly's action where they repealed a law that has to do with the local government, saying that the governor does not have the right to appoint a caretaker chairman. Now that you made reference to them, I remembered that, and I'm asking you. So, I mean, how does that,
What manner of people do not speak with one part of their mouth? What manner of people condone the thing when it favors them and goes against it when it doesn't? What manner of people can be that selfish? So it's okay for somebody to give an instruction and say, all of you go back and return to where you were, blah, 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 blah. It is okay. But it is not okay for the governor to say something and to implement. Now you know it's against the law. It's okay for the law to be broken for you to sit where you shouldn't sit, but it's not okay for the governor. I mean, like, people stop undermining this governor and give them a space to do his work. And let's stop abusing his rights as a human being and the office of the governor. Can they just stop and allow this man do his work?
Okay.
It's okay for them to say, we were extracted from Abuja, like dudes. You all went for election. So you were not appointed. So it's okay for Obama to take all the commissioners who walked away themselves back because somebody said so. It's okay for members of the House of Assembly to come back because somebody said so, but it's not okay. I mean, that's double standard. Can they just face the truth and the fact and stop all this dramatic thing that is
okay. Happy Women's Day to you. I should say that. Happy Women's Day to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And this is a shout out to all the women out there who are ensuring that they live a happy life and that they give the world a peaceful face to marriage. All the women that are raising wonderful children and all the men who ensure that the women in their life are epitome of their joy and fullness.
Okay, so talking about women, there are challenges facing women. What are some of those challenges, especially here in River State? I'm more focused about River State.
Okay, Canada, first and most importantly is that you know that culture, the African culture, and some cultures are just inimical to the development of women.
Okay,
and this is global. And over time, some women have learned to navigate through all these processes, the inhibitions and restrictions that are placed by culture, by religion, and sometimes by misogyny. But having also said that, there are men who you can't help but love them for the support that they give to women. Okay? Those people, now let me tell you one political challenge that women face in Nigeria. Every time they want to run any real intense, serious, impacted meeting, is moved to midnight, between the hours of 12 midnight and 3 a.m. What husband will allow his wife to be out of his home at those hours? What man? Nobody, right? So naturally, put women in positions where it looks as if something is wrong, but nothing is wrong. So what do women do? They try the best that they can to stick with the meetings that happen in daytime. That's one. Two, it's tokenism, where you think that women are only fit to be women leaders. Women do way more than that. In fact, the best mobilizers are women. The best nurturers of anything are women because they have that natural gifting. So why do people think women can do with tokenism? Why? So that's another challenge that women would need to deal with. Then there's another challenge of people trying to make politics about money. We can do better than that. We can. We can look at people's quality and, human quality, compassion, positivity, commitment, and consistency.
Right.
We can look at people from the point of integrity and honor, and stop looking at people based off of sex. Gender is a social construct, so now we have almost 25 kinds of gender. So I'm not talking gender, I'm talking biology here, man and woman. Okay? Equality is limitless. However, I'd like to also announce to you proudly that there are women who have decided that no matter the challenge, they're going to keep pushing and pushing until people get to understand. I'm a young woman. We're matrilineal. Even when we know that, okay, the men will still want to be ahead, but they also know that we're matrilineal. They know that the deities are female. So, we will do this. We will do this. And women are doing it, and we have exceptional women who are leading exceptionally in business, in politics, in academics, and anywhere else in life, including at home.
Okay. Now, in commemoration of this year's International Day for Women, what do you think the Rivers State government's policy should be as it relates to women? We talk in politics now. So, what do you think? And also, what is the Labour Party's agenda for women in Rivers State?
Okay, so let me start with what should Rivers State do. Rivers State should do an all-inclusive program for women. So whatever the plans are, you have to encourage, in fact, no girl child left behind kind of thing for education. You have to also understand that based off of what is happening economically in the country today, we have a lot of poor girls growing up in poor homes. Government needs to support them. They're also poor boys, and there's something new where you have children raising children. The mother of the child is the child herself of 12, and she's raising a child, and her own mother is in her 20s, her grandmother in her 30s. That's like 4 generations of people who are going to be poor, except something drastic happens. So I'm looking forward to government not tokens, not a charity, but engaging women organizations, civil societies working on women issues, engage them to ensure that women are encouraged and supported to build whatever it is, whatever positive endeavor, legal and ethical endeavor can be embarked on.
All right. I've got to go. My time is up. I've got commercial to play. My show, mainly commercial. Maybe some other time I would invite you and we would have more conversations as interesting as we've had.
Thank you so much, Kalana, for having me. It's been a great pleasure. Thank you, happy International Women's Day for Her Ladies. Talk to you again soon. Cheers and bye.
All right, thank you very much, Hilda Dokubo, Chairman, Labour Party, Rivers State. I'll be right back. To stay tuned.